So the other morning, I was doing some stretching in my back garden because I've realised that although I'm 19, I have the body of an 82-year-old. I'm having creaks and pains and a lack of flexibility that I shouldn't be having at my age. And because I do martial arts, it would be beneficial for me to do some stretching. So I've added it as sort of a regular habit that I do. And when I concluded the stretching, I sort of just laid on my yoga mat in my garden and I was just staring up at the sky. It was a beautiful blue sky with speckles of clouds, those very wispy kind of clouds. And I noticed how some of the clouds were moving faster than others. They were all going the same direction. Some were going really fast, some were just meandering along, but they were all going the same way. And this gave me a really profound thought because it sort of represents how a lot of us are going where we need to be, but our speed doesn't necessarily matter. And of course, there was those clouds that seemed to just be stuck. They were moving really, really slowly as if they were just motionless in the air. And that sort of represents the people that maybe don't know where they're going, or they're just not putting in the effort. They have a direction they want to go in, but they're just not putting in the time and effort. So that's the kind of deep thought I was having while staring at the sky. It gives you an insight into how my brain works. And then, as I was laying there just staring at the sky, I also just smiled at the fondness and the humbleness of it all. I felt truly at peace just laying in my back garden staring at the blue sky. It didn't require any money, it didn't require any burning effort and drive. It was just bliss. And I thought to myself, there may be a time in the future when I'm successful, when I've accumulated a lot of wealth, where I'm living somewhere else, moved out of my parents' house, and I'll miss moments like these where the world is just simple, where you've not got any worries. Now, of course, I had worries, but in that very moment by itself, it felt as if all my cares just became like the clouds. They were just floating above me, and I was just observing them. And it's moments like that that I'm going to miss, You don't realize it, but that's the benefit of becoming present, I believe. Is that you can do these stupid little things like staring at the sky and feel more contentment and more fulfillment than you do working your job or all these other things that we waste time on. And you may enjoy your job, and that's fantastic. You may be fulfilled in that respect, but sadly, most people aren't. And it's just times like this when you can really reflect and understand what life is supposed to be. And it was also a combination of the masculine experience with the femininity of nature. And this is what a lot of guys need to learn. I'm going to make a whole video on masculinity and stuff, but just the beauty of nature is obviously very feminine. The subtle breeze, the blue sky, all of these have very feminine connections. And I was combining my masculine vision with the femininity of nature. I know I'm sounding like some whimsical romantic poet, but it was just so beautiful. Honestly, I wasn't even laying down for that long. I think it was only like a couple of minutes that I was just staring at the sky, if even that. But it was just, I can't really put it into words the way I was just feeling. It was just pure bliss. And combining that masculine experience with the feminine experience, it just made me feel like a mere, observer, I guess, to this blip of life. The blip that we call life. Because I wasn't really participating in anything. I was literally doing nothing, technically. I was just laying down, staring at the sky. And it felt like I was just observing, like I was this floating entity, just observing the world go by. And that experience just made me realize how much more grateful I need to be for these subtle moments, and of course the importance of presence, like I mentioned. So I suggest to you, and I think a lot of people would benefit from this, is just start thinking more. Just start doing nothing more, if that makes sense. Like a lot of us, when we're sat on the toilet or waiting for transport, or in our gardens, maybe trying to enjoy the sun, people are on their phones constantly. It's so sad how we feel we need to be stimulated all the time. I got way more beneficial stimulation from staring at the sky than I did in those couple of minutes than I could have done in, let's say, 30 minutes of doom scrolling. That's how powerful it is. So I suggest to you, start learning to do nothing more. Be comfortable. Because when we were kids, we learned to do nothing. Like if we were in a doctor's waiting room or something, we would, you know, be antsy. We'd be talking to people. We'd be playing with the toys in the doctor's waiting room and using our imaginations. But now, that stuff's being stopped, not just for kids, but for adults as well, because we're just being stimulated. Our brains are being rotted away and fried. We feel as if our brains always need to be active. And this can be in a productive sense as well, where, oh, we'll watch one more YouTube video because it's educational, and you already have all the information you need. You've watched countless videos. But alas, this is the sad state of the world. But I hope that my words can help you, and it can help the world into becoming a little brighter place when you learn to enjoy nothingness. Enjoy the bliss of the sky, of the trees, of the human experience. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. God bless. And as always, you take very good care of yourself.